Hello, hello everyone, how are you doing? I'm currently watching a Willy video. Willy News, when Bones got transphobic. I know, shocking. But, me. I'd just like to remind everyone that this is the chill stream, so it will not be on the hardcore mode. Because it's hard to chill on hardcore mode, am I right? But this is our city, and assuming that my account doesn't get shut down due to inaccurate funds, y'all can also play on this world with me, if you so choose, and if you're on my friends list. If you want to join that friends list, all you have to do is join the channel, and then give me your info so that I can put you into the PlayStation, and be a PlayStation Network person as well. I do not yet have a Microsoft, nor Realms. Once the channel takes off here in a year or so, maybe a little more, a little less. Once I get a patron on here that doesn't mind paying for the Realm for us, y'all, we'll get a Realm for the entire network, and then we might restart a whole new city, who knows. We might just keep this one. No. Oh, really such a sweet soul. It's nice that in the transphobic episode of Bones, the fact that the top coroner in all the land didn't know who trans people were, or that trans people were a thing, and reacted to it almost like they were afraid. I like how Willie said, well, this introduces us into a unique world where there has never been a trans victim of a crime ever. What a wonderful world that would be to live in. Unfortunately, you know, here in our world, trans people are typically the victims of crimes at a higher rate than straight cis folk. But then again, if you listen to the straight cis folks, they're the ultimate victims of the world. Everyone's out to get those poor little bastards. I mean, ignore the fact that they're basically the one protected fucking class. Oh, I'm dumb. Oh, I'm so dumb. Why did I build a staircase there? I already had a staircase on the other side, y'all. Why y'all let me do dumb things? I'm kidding. I don't care for Mr. Nigel Murray, but as a co-worker, you should... It'd be like if I looked at Pam every time I worked with her and told her she's a fucking idiot because she's worked there longer than management has been there, and yet still has to ask the normal employees, like the new hires, what to do. But even if she is a fucking idiot, arguably, it's still rude. You still gotta respect your co-workers, at least on the face, you know? I don't know. It's a rudeness thing, y'all. That's all it is. I don't care to call someone as it is and to tell someone how it is. Y'all know this. You've been on my channel. It's the overall just being a rude bitch to someone for no reason that gets onto my skin, though. Huh. That could have probably been said gentler. What? What? What did I miss? Mm. Mm. He murdered her. I remember the episode now. Holy fuck, Sweets actually had a good take. Because most pathetic straight men, when you talk about trans bottom surgery, they think about their penis, even though, unless they want it, they're never gonna have to undergo it. I don't understand people. Though I do love Willie's videos, y'all should check out Willie Muse. He's very cute. He sort of strikes me as like your little brother explaining the plot of something to you awkwardly, slightly, because he seems like he still wants you to enjoy his company and the product. So it's like, you know, Willie's cute. He's a little dude. He's a sweet little guy. Mhm. Hello, Gallery Hatchet and other. How are you doing today? We're doing a bit of a wind down Minecraft before we call it a night. Sadly, tonight's gonna be my logging off early night because I gotta open tomorrow and the next day at work. So sadly, probably no stream in the morning. What button to hit? Though I will try if I can. I'll put it up. I'm alright. A little tired, but alright. Got a good bit done today. And I tried the Hello Kitty faux properly. And honestly, it wasn't bad. Let me be clear. If you can get actual faux, get actual faux. But as far as like the do-it-yourself at home in the microwave equivalencies of faux, it's pretty good faux for that. Now, if you want faux, go get it from a good restaurant. I think that's a Thai restaurant does faux, but I'm not positive. It's a really good soup. It's like a ramen noodle, but different. The noodles are very different as well. As far as in my pho, they're a glass noodle, so it's a flat, clear noodle made out of rice, I want to say. I'm not positive how they make pho. And it's pronounced P-H-O. Pho. Aw, did you leave? I'm sorry if I was being a little bit too, like, nerdy with shit. Being a cook, I kind of obsess over food sometimes. And being an American, I kind of obsess over garbage food because we can't afford good food here in my garbage country. It's almost kind of aggravating, too, because it's like when COVID happened, everyone, oh, the U.S. shut down. Nobody could go anywhere. We were all locked in our houses. I wasn't, bitch. I didn't lose a single goddamn. I was out every single motherfucking day. Not because I wanted to be, but because I was a worker. So while everyone else lamented and cried, I went out there and didn't make enough money to make a living, while exposing myself to possible death. I don't know. It's frustrating, is all. It's frustrating. The expectations. But it's the same thing as kids. If you want to point out to anyone in the previous generation that tried to, oh, kids these days are just so sensitive. Point out, it literally took the U.S. government deploying the United States military to make it to where black children and white children could attend the same schools. The boomers and Gen X were so fragile of racial problems that they had to have the United States military step in to get them to stop being racist shitheels. Now, yeah, a lot of that's just like the lead poisoning in the brain, but like some of it's just genuinely who they are. And we have to make a decision as a group if we're going to tolerate that or not. I'll tolerate it as a you're going to make slip-ups because secretly you're a terrible person, but I'm not going to accept it if you start doing that shit like in front of me in IRL. Why is the Enderman trying to kill himself? I thought it was getting ready to come after me and was getting stopped by the water. Apparently it was just jumping into the hole repeatedly. Mostly, y'all, it's just we gotta work together, y'all, because Lord knows we're needed in the world. No. Hello, hello, I hope you're doing well, dear viewers. This be the chill wind down. This is also the non-hardcore mode. Okay. I don't know where I fall on the spectrum. Technically, I am a bit of a ginger. My beard color is naturally red. My hair color is reddish brown. I feel I have to say that for my future viewers, because if you noticed my videos, I tend to, you know, rock the non-natural hair. And when the time comes that I have to blend in with my normie southerners, I'm probably going to go black. That's not what I meant. Ha 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 ha. That's not what I meant. What I mean is I'm probably going to go Transylvania Black, which is a dark, dark Firefox color. Sorry, Arctic Fox color. And I'm basically going to use it to blend all my colors into just the shadows for a while. And then I'll let my hair continue growing because it is a testament to my mother's memory. And eventually, when it gets long enough, I'll just have that I'll have that black section in my hair to memorialize all the people lost during this terrible time in American history that I've been forced to live through against my fucking will. Sorry, y'all. That joke went a little harsher and saltier than I wanted it to. But it is true. I mean, y'all. Yeah, y'all. I don't want to be here no more. I just want to, you know, help the animals, plant wildflowers and plants, stuff like that. Hello, dear viewer. But yeah, odds are if the South keeps going the way it's going, I'm going to have to blend in and hide soon. Not looking forward to that. It's so exhausting to try to act normal. And honestly, with my attitude being the way it is, it's just difficult because, yeah, I can act normal, I can hide, but the moment my freak flag comes out even a little bit, I'm going to be forced to fucking fight, so it's why I'm not good at stealthy games either. I'm just, fuck it, you want to fight me? Let's fight then. I don't do the whole, oh, woo-woo, if I'm nice enough, maybe you won't be a total shitheel to me, ooh-woo. No, I'm more of a fuck you if you don't like me, let's just move on. But as I said, and again, who the fuck knows? I'm just a fry cook. I don't have the historical knowledge to talk about are redheads like black people or comparable, because I would argue no. Just on a knee-jerk base level, no, duh. Yeah, the redheads were enslaved in England and all that, but here all black people were enslaved. It's, you know what I mean? It feels kind of, it feels like that Kelly Osbourne on The View moment, as Willie put it in the last video we were watching. Where, well, Donald Trump, if you send all the immigrants out, then who's going to clean your toilet, eh? Kelly, that's not the statement you're wanting to make. I get what you're saying, everybody got what you were saying, but immigrants are more than maintenance people and, like, janitors. I would have said, hey, I mean, yeah, you can get rid of all the foreigners, but then we get rid of all the good food, and we get rid of all the, like, science that benefits all of us. Because have you noticed that all the tech bros that actually change things, most of the ones that are changing things, like AI, slop, the in-shitification, everything, they're all white folk. The people that are like, hey, here's Wi-Fi, here's how to communicate across distances, the likes of which we can never fucking do. Oh, those are the gays and the transes and the blacks, and the minorities give us useful technology. White folks make money off of technology. They find ways to milk it. That seems to be the big difference. Alice, do not bark at David coming out of his room. Stop it. Also, don't bark when you're just laying there, sweetheart. It's not intimidation like you think. You okay? No, apparently there's a whole lot of internet creators that are saying redheads are basically the white version of black people. I know, I don't know how to make that connection really either. Well, I mean, if we're talking media, then it don't really matter. Hello, hello, dear viewer. I've never had that. I've had people touch my hair randomly as a guy with long hair. And honestly, my black audience, my fellows, my brothers and sisters out there, I feel you. That shit's fucking weird. Why do people think that's okay? Like, I'll even go for a stretch and say, hey, ladies with your pregger bellies, why the fuck do people think they got a right to put their hands on you? I've never understood the touchy thing, you know? I get it. I'm a very outgoing and loving person, IRL. I'm one of the first ones that if I care about you as a person, if you're having a bad day, come here, buddy. Come here, let's hug it out. I'm one of those guys. But to be clear, it would be a come here, buddy, let's hug it out. It wouldn't be a me just grab you from behind and hug the demons out. It's, y'all, for real though.
And most of these reasons kind of range
Because, yeah, short of, like, one of my coworkers who I tolerate touching me, it's just weird. It's weird. It's one thing if you announce yourself, because then I can at least brace for it or say, I'd rather not, thank you. But at the same time, it's just, you know. I've always thought it was weird, the whole, oh wow, your hair's pretty and you're a black person. Can I touch your hair? Like, why? You have hair, go touch your own hair. And there's also, of course, you know, if it was a little kid, I'd give a little bit more kindness to my response than just, no, fuck off, you're weird.
As I was scrolling through TikTok after searching this topic, my TikTok search is going to be so ridiculous after this. My algorithm it's already messed up, to be honest, just from creating this channel, so I can't even complain. But anyway, so just when I was scrolling through, I just noticed like an overwhelming amount of the posts being from redhead people, like defending why this is true, or like there was one man who was really passionate about it actually, concerningly so. And then other people where there were other videos of like redheads dissecting parallels between the black community and redheads and all these things. And I just thought this is very interesting because what we've now created is a dynamic where we've kind of empowered and given permission for, calling a spade, white people to speak on behalf of how black people...
They keep saying calling a spade a spade. To my knowledge, a spade is a digging implement, a shovel as you will. Spades, the card game, is a fun card game, but the spade itself is based upon the shovel, the digging utensil. So, you'll understand my concern when I find out, have I been being racist all this time when I say let's call a spade a spade? Because is that a black thing? Is that a Jim Crow South thing, or am I just being over-analytical this time? Because I've overanalyzed things a lot in my lifetime. But mostly it's out of an abundance of caution of not wanting to be a rude bitch. Even though I'm going to be a rude bitch based upon my linguistics, but still. I try to, you know, not... Like the channel will say, I'll cuss a lot, but I'm not going to use slurs or be racist if I can help it.
But the question is, how far does this joke go? And as I've mentioned, the power has shifted from a conversation among black people to essentially handing the power to redhead people to have a platform in conversations when it pertains to the black community and what it means to be black. And that shift in power, while funny when it remains in our own hands and we can control this narrative, doesn't become as funny when it is a conversation that leans towards appeasing white narratives and white guilt, especially when we think about what we're just overcoming, which we're just coming, you know, moving past. There's that crazy era of Vine where we had a lot of black content creators creating content with white content creators, essentially based on stereotypes of blackness and jokes about, you know, a white guy that eats his chicken to a bone. Oh, you know, he's more black than me, or, you know, these kind of conversations. We've just about overcome that narrative. We've finally looked at that narrative, understood that it's degrading, it is perpetuating negative narratives, it's allowing white people to perpetuate racism, it's kind of like the blackface of modern comedy. We've finally, you know, found the terms for that, articulated why that wasn't okay and why we don't want to keep doing that. And here we are, how many years after Vine is finished, and we've finally just, you know, been able to put into words why that was such a problematic era. Here we are, essentially stirring up the pot to create another form of comedy, which is about this joke of stereotypes between black and white people and how when black people are X, Y, Z, they're a bit more black. You know? You know what? You see where I'm going with this? So that's just on a surface level. In terms of the it's just a joke conversations, well, I genuinely, you see me smiling in this video, I did find the topic to be quite funny. When I saw it come up, I was just thought it was ridiculous. Then when I searched it and saw what the conversation was turning into and what it was, the kind of humor and the kind of discourse that it was inviting from people outside of our community, then I flagged, okay, this is why we can't joke with you. This is why we can't have nothing. This is why we can't have nothing. This is why we have to keep our jokes to ourselves, okay? Because it just enables a whole different conversation in the realm of jokes that we just, a Pandora's box, that a can of worms that we do not want to open again, okay? We've just about discarded. But let's talk about how, historically, the conversation around welcoming non-black people into the black community has been a very problematic issue, especially as it pertains to non-black people receiving the benefits of blackness while essentially leeching off of our culture and our sense of community. Gingers are black. Where was the sanity for Halle Bailey when she was Ariel, though?
Yeah.
Lock the doors and bar the gates, because I don't remember a single ginger person calling Halle cousin. I remember them saying, not my Ariel.
Yeah.
My Little Mermaid, they were the most pressed group of people harassing this young woman online, all over social media, berating her. Okay, so I know people are going to say it's a joke, Melissa, take a joke, you're being so serious. When you give people an inch, they're going to take a mile. And you know what, this trend is very telling, because if you ask a non-black person what their favorite thing is about black people, you know what they're going to say? They're going to say, oh, I love that they're great hype people. They make me feel cool. It's all about how black people embrace them and they love it, right? But the embracing doesn't go the other way around. You have people that want and love to be welcomed to black spaces, but they don't want to welcome black people into their spaces. Black people we're often accused of being hypersensitive when it comes to playing the race card. And if you are curious as to why I refer to it as a myth, I would really encourage you to read Akana's Natives. It's such a great book. It talks about conversations of being black in Britain, in the UK. There's a conversation that is so necessary.
I was about to say, I would never call it like, I don't know. I would consider it a myth that, you know, black people are oversensitive about their race. It's a myth because how can you be oversensitive about that? How can someone like myself even begin to broach how you're not being oversensitive about that, considering, yeah, one of my ancestors' sides was genocided by the U.S. Army. The other side was enslaved for a very short part, more sharecropping than chattel slavery. Because, y'all, I hate to bring this up as a history guide, but really, like everything, slavery is a complicated subject. Period. Wrong. Duh. But outside of that, you had the ye old European, African, Japanese, Eastern method of slavery where you owe me a debt, you can't pay the debt, so now I own you. I'll take your property and I'll do whatever I can to get that debt back. That's one form of slavery. And it's bad. It's terrible. Not defending any form of slavery on this channel. But, big but here, if you had kids under this form of slavery, they were not slaves. They did not belong to the master either. They belonged to you as your children. They were also your responsibility. And again, it broke down differently for different cultures. Each culture treated their indentured servants, if you're an American in the school system, differently. For example, in ancient Israel, you could not be a slave if you were Jewish. But if you were anyone else, you could be a permanent slave, and yes, you could give your slave a husband or a wife, and then when they wanted their freedom at the time of freedom coming, you could basically say, yeah, you're free to go, but I get to keep your parent, or I get to keep your kids and your wife. This is biblical slavery, and that's considered okay.
and it's all
And
about
by
revolving
that standard,
around
compared to chattel slavery, it is still better,
how
but
they
not good. There is no good slavery, folks.
reference political status.
But chattel slavery really changed the game because that made it much like, there's always been restaurants, there's always been someone who cooked the food in exchange for money. It was America where we started cooking. It's food shaped. It's a food byproduct. We are the ones who started the whole, it's not food, but it's food. Similarly, slavery always bad, not a good look. However, America managed to make not good, not a good look into so much worse with chattel slavery. That's just taking slavery and adding new and terrible extra steps to it. Because now, yeah, you effectively not only own them, but their children. America didn't see black folks as a people to enslave like Europeans, Eastern Americans, Jesus Christ, Eastern Arabic Emirates, the Japanese. They didn't see the Africans as people. They didn't see black Europe. They didn't see black people, Jamaican, African, or otherwise, as people. It's again, it's difficult to talk about because it's one of those. None of these are defendable things. You understand, right? There is no good. Yeah, this slavery's okay. And technically, America never got rid of our slavery. Ask anyone involved in the prison system, either on the guard side or on the inmate side. They don't have freedom to choose. They work where we tell them to work, or they get beaten. If they don't work, they don't eat. If they don't eat, they'll eventually get weak and die. The only ones who don't have to work are the rich jackasses who have money on the outside, or who run the criminal empires. Or the rats and the snitches. They also usually don't have to work quite as hard. So if you get caught being a rat or a snitch, let's just say you're going to have a bad time. Like I said, society's complicated, y'all. These subjects are difficult to talk about because shit be difficult. But that's still no excuse to let it ride, We should be making society better together. Actively and properly. I don't know how to go with this one, y'all. It's a weird subject, and I'm glad to let this black creator talk about it on her extent. I would say check out Town of Kiowa.
God forbid someone who you said was black. You got the black culture. In conclusion, I personally find this discourse to be very silly and actually very ridiculous, but I do find there to be something interesting about the fact that people will recognize how restrictive it often feels as a black person to be accepted in black spaces, be it because of the way we wear our hair, whether our hair's not laid enough, being too ashy, and all of these things, all of these issues that
I still don't understand what the fuck ashy even means. I genuinely don't. Is it when you got dry skin? Is it like the eczema? Because again, I like to be up to date on my terms, and I would like to use ashy if it's a proper word, but I don't know what it means. Also, I don't want to take nobody's words if it's not one that we're supposed to be taking. It's like how, as a white person, I will never be like, but bro, can I go to the cookout? That's fucking stupid. What? If you're an ally, you do not have to call yourself an ally. You know you're an ally. Also, if you're an ally, you'll take that black person calling you a honky-ass cracker because they didn't know who you was, because you understand how many honky-ass crackers they got to deal with on a daily basis. I mean, it's the same reason why when I read things from other cultures, I'm very hesitant to put them online because, yeah, I can read in American English. Put it outside of that, and I start to have a lot of difficulty. And I would hate to mispronounce a word or misframe something, you know? Like I said, maybe I'm being overly sensitive and it's a detriment to me. I don't know. I never want anyone to come on my channel unless they're a Christian, a cis white straight jackass, or one. You will know if I don't want you on my channel. Let's put it that way. For everyone else, I don't want any. I don't want any just, you know, kid to pop up on my channel and feel unwelcome. Even though I'm going to take this golden opportunity to point out, kids, please go play with other children. I don't mind being an alternative for y'all if you would rather go see Sneeko or Andrew Tate. No, please stick around on my channel. I'm a better influence. I'm a nicer guy, and I will help you not become a incel. Instead, I'll help you try to figure out how to talk to them people you're interested in, and we can talk about stuff. I'm hardly any kind of a guru, being an asexual person myself, but I mean, your uncle used to have sex every once in a while. I'm not sex averse. I'm just also, I've had it enough times. I don't see what the big damn deal is. Sex is more about the connection and intimacy with the person that you're fucking rather than the act of fucking itself. So in that sense, I would say that, you know, get to know the person and you'll actually have fun with it. You'll enjoy it. Again, there's a reason that I consider myself ace, but I'm not sex averse. It's because in our modern society, if someone throws you the vag or the dick and you don't immediately accept, well, what are you, blank? Sometimes, you know, I don't know, guys, I'm different. I like to know the person I'm sleeping with. I like to make special things, you know? I don't know. I don't know why I went with the ooh voice there, y'all, but I hope my point is being conveyed. You're never going to pull the woman of your dreams by having money. Because that woman that you're pulling with your money is not the woman of your dreams. She is a hard-working person that you should pay well, have your fun, ideally consensual adult fun with both of you, and then move on. But that's not a relationship. A relationship comes from a person who knows you. And for someone to know you, well, friend, you have to first know yourself to be able to present to them. Be yourself. Because it's always better to be yourself and get turned down than to pretend to be something you're not, like a shitheel like Andrew Tate, and then suddenly, but I don't want to fight that guy. That guy's big and scary, and fuck that. Well, I'm sorry there, Big Chief G, but you're the one who decided to be the gangsta player, so get in there and play the game. But I don't wanna. Well, that's too fucking bad now. You done wrote that check, son. And yeah, you can back out. Violence is never the answer. But you still gonna be looked at like you a little bitch, as opposed to if you act as you are, come correct as it were, then you don't have to be that way. Because if you're a violent shitheel, you're just gonna be a violent shitheel. What up, Ijero? How are you doing? I got lost in the sauce on this conversation about alpha males and the current weird joke that was on the lines and spread across the internet. Someone else did a video on it about the whole redheads are apparently the white person equivalent to black people, and I was having a bit of a talk about that and toxic peoples. Either way, now we're on Charlie Kirk knows nothing about indigenous history with the Riverboat Jack, posted 2 hours ago.
Because everything that they are trying
in
to
case
do
y'all are
in
hearing
the
it.
majority party in government is failing colossally.
Yeah, Ronan didn't fall asleep on it this time.
It's not going well, and I just wanted to throw this up. Because this is
Unfortunately, no Spider-Man. That one's going to be done in short bursts, because if I try to do more than like 1 or 2 little missions, the console starts to try to blast off. The hell?
AMAC is the conservative alternative to AARP, and it's not just for seniors, it's for anyone who
Oh God, don't buy into AMAC, folks.
His voice, and his head looks very weird in his
I
believes in faith, family, and freedom. Members get exclusive discounts, helpful resources, and the excellent AMAC magazine.
Oh, well then hello, I hope your game goes well, friend.
As $1.20 a month for a 5-year membership. Support the movement that's standing up.
No worry, J-Ro. Have a wonderful day, and I thank you for coming out. I hope your game goes well, bud. And for the future viewers, AMAC is what they're... Let me get my words together, because y'all deserve coherent sentences. Okay. AMAC. Which sounds stupid. I genuinely, the child in me just keeps going, well, we prefer PC here in this house, Travis. But AMAC is apparently the right wing's response to AARP. For those of you who don't know, because you didn't deal with old people for most of your life, or you're not an old person yourself, AARP in America is like a retirement person program that you can sign up for, and it costs a little bit of money each month, but then you get like fuck tons of coupons and various... It's like a benefits thing. It's, hey, you survived in the hellscape this long, here's a little prize for your efforts so long as you pay us. And you paying them, hundreds of thousands of members together paying them, is what gives them the money to fund these things. That, again, just quick breakdown on the nuts and bolts of AARP. Now, AARP was originally a veterans program, if I'm not badly mistaken, specifically made to get, like, veterans who are up for retirement but not quite there yet, or retired people that aren't quite, they don't quite have that nest egg set. So it'll help give them a cushion. And it was run by, you guessed it, friends, a neutral party of Democrats, Republicans, and neutral people. So, and it does work, it's American, it doesn't work great. It does work, though. And I'm sorry, but I just see AMAC being the shittier version of AARP. As in, you pay a lot more and you get smaller portions. But don't worry, brother, you'll be ultra... Shit, and I dropped the phone. See, when you commit too much to the bit, you break things. Let me try that one again. But AMAC, unlike AARP, will make you ultra straight, brother. They'll send you the best male cleanliness wipes and the best Under Armour imaginable. Hoorah! They probably do AARP, but, insufferable like that. The thing is, y'all, if you can afford... I can't fucking afford it, but if you can afford it, AARP is not a bad program from what I recall from my grandfather using it. But then again, that was back in 2008, so... Well, 2008 through 2015. So, again... I don't know that much about AARP because I am not that old yet. But once I get that old, if it's still a good functioning program, fuck it, I might look into it. It's sort of the same thing as the AAA program. I've got no interest in being in it because don't have a vehicle, but if I did have a vehicle, I would totally join up with AAA. Just because that's smart. Then again, it was smart to do back in the day. Don't know if it's still a smart investment. Back in the day, you go with AAA because no matter what, they got your back in the event of an accident, automotive or otherwise. If your car runs out of gas, call AAA. You're stuck stranded on the road, call AAA. They'll get you a hotel room and a taxi. It was a poor man's insurance, and it worked really well. But that was of a different time. Again, a lot of these systems I talk about were wonderful when I was younger. Don't let that nostalgia bug get you, folks. You gotta keep checking in on shit you did as a kid because, well, for example, Six Flags was fucking poggers when I was a kid. If I went back today, I saw chat move, but I didn't. If I tried to go back today, though, I probably wouldn't have that much fun. I'm going to tell myself I probably wouldn't because I got a free ticket, but I can't afford to go. That, and add to it the fact that also, long distance away and everything costs money. There's a well. don't want to say it till they are. Either way, nature is a calling. We've been going for about an hour and a half. I think we're going to sign off here for now. And I do hope y'all enjoyed the wind down. I hope it has been a fun stream. If nothing else, I hope you got a kick out of watching my base as our base slowly evolves. I'll leave it here for now so y'all can get a nice little view while I go pee, and then we will sign off shortly after that. Y'all be good now. Be right back, kid. Be right back. Get hooked. Turn that back on low for a minute. Okay. Sorry about that momentary diversion, y'all. I guess for sake of making you wait that long, I'll at least gather a bit of wood. As well as... It always was. And this is purely just based on the fact that no matter how you build it, it seems like the higher up you go and the lower down you dig around it, the more breathtaking the design becomes, yeah? A couple more spaces over and then we should be able to zip it right over to the third base. Also, the plan for these is, once my top subscribers start showing up and joining the friends list and eventually jumping on with me, these will pass as y'all's houses too, or bases. You got that one there, you got that one there, and then this one will be one all of its very own. Each one digging deep into the earth and connecting to the ground below. And eventually, all of them will tie together onto the map as well. But for that, that's more of a, we'll see how that passion project go when the time comes. Almost there. About 3 to 4 more spots, and then we'll cut it back. I'm trying Not saying that I'm going to succeed, but I'm trying to hit about center of that mountain. That way we can do a little walk-in, and then however y'all want to design your mountain, you'll be able to. And the best thing about this track is, minus the phantoms, this should be fairly safe from most mobs as a way to move about and stand around and do stuff, you know? Like I said, y'all, I'm not an expert at this shit. I'm just doing my best to be entertaining as I work. One more. Boo. Again, really? Damn it. Oh well. Just be cautious with it. We'll come back to it. It's not looking half bad. We're going to add more to it, of course, as time goes. But for the moment, we need to be on the hunt for a bit more granite. As well as the path down below, but on that I'm not so positive on how to get down below.
Welcome back. Email us as always, freedom at Charlie. Also, okay, .com. So let's go a little.
I'm gonna check. We might have some granite inside.
Here, the non-AI version. I swear to God, his face, like the AI for his face, has been trained on the memes, and that his face, like his facial features, are smaller on this than in real life. I went back and forth on that, like, so many times when I prepped this segment, but like it's insane. It's insane how proportioned his face is. Anyway. Okay, everybody, welcome back. Email us as always, freedom@charliekirk.com. So let's go a little deeper on this land acknowledgement thing. If you don't know what a land acknowledgement is, it's, again, this is at the Democrat Party. I mean, we should make fun of them, but also the most pressing issue for conservatives right now is land acknowledgements. Really? That's an issue? Okay. Core of the Democrat Party is this dark, depressing energy. It's inherently nihilistic. It's so about unraveling civilization. They are an anti-civilizational force. Evidence? I pulled it out of my ass. Now, is every Democrat an anti-civilizational toxin? No. But the party is... can we just, like, talk for a real quick moment here about how, like, dangerous this rhetoric is, how, like, steeped in, like, the history of global atrocity this type of language is, right? When you're talking about, like, oh, not every Democrat is a blight on civilization, but most of them are. That's interesting, because I'm just going to throw it out there. What is a conservative who hears, this large group of people, they are trying to kill our civilization? What do you think the conservative mind goes to when thinking about people like that? Do they think, let's just change their minds through reasoned discourse? No, they think about killing them. They're like, those people want to kill our civilization, let's kill them instead. Right? That is the purpose of this rhetoric. Charlie knows that. He's not stupid. And that's why he uses this rhetoric. He uses it deliberately to incite that type of violent fervor in his audience. Self is an anti-civilizational cancer. It is a toxin. And this is why they're losing voter registration data so much, because they might not love the Republican Party. And trust me, I got a lot of problems with the Republican Party. But generally, if you look at this as a macro view, if you look at this year over year, our movement
but I actually think that little infighting at times, and I try to not engage in a lot of it, I think it makes us stronger. I think it makes us tougher. I think it makes sure that we know what we believe. We're getting better at getting out root causes. The Democrat Party is so self-loathing, depressing, anti-Western, anti-American.
Citation needed. Genuinely, I would love to see some citations here.
So, a land acknowledgement. I don't even know where this started.
Also, land acknowledgements have been around for like 20 years, 30 years. Like, I remember being a kid.
Also, I don't know if y'all can hear Riverboat Jack, but currently Charlie Kirk is whining and shitting himself over land acknowledgement. For the record, y'all, land acknowledgement doesn't really do anything. It's literally folks going back and going, yep, our ancestors definitely fucked your people over. Sorry about that. And we move forward with that knowledge being officially on the books. As opposed to what the Republicans want to do, which is, natives were just stupid. They sold all this land for a bead. Let's ignore the fact that, you know, you genocided them and murdered them, and most of the time it wasn't for the monetary value they were selling the land, it was just on the promise that you would leave them the fuck alone when you were done. Now, that's the thing, land back is just it's the bare baby start to things. It's not even a solution, it's just admitting there was a problem. And the right wing refusing to even bow to the fact that, you know, we can admit that our ancestors shouldn't have genocided the native people. If you can't at least admit to that, then no, we can't have a conversation because you're not a good person. And I don't make a habit of dealing with non-good people. Like I said, it's tough, y'all. It's tough. It's all bullshit and it's bad for you out there. But land back acknowledgement is fine. It's something that should happen because we did, well, not us, but our ancestors did that fucky thing. And the least we can do is acknowledge it.
I don't even know what that is. Oh, maybe it's more common in areas like the one I live in. Yeah, it's basically saying like, oh, hey, before we get started, folks, this event is taking place on land previously inhabited by, you know, such and such tribe. Like, that's it. Like, it is acknowledging the people who came before us. That's it. It's, I think, more common in Canada, but it also happens here in Minnesota.
I remember hearing this about 10 years ago. This started from the Native American community, the indigenous population, as they call it, indigenous people.
As they call it, that's what they're called, Charlie. Oh, look at all these so-called Caucasians, as they call them. Like, what are you talking about? That's just the term for it. Look at all these cars, or automobiles, as they call them. Like, dude.
Okay, which of course they were poorly treated many times throughout the 1800s.
Yeah, and then as we
And
all
1900s
know,
and
poor
2000s.
treatment of the indigenous people, you know, prior to the 1800s, non-existent, and after the 1800s, non-existent. Yeah, as we all know, indigenous people were treated just swell after 1900 happened, you know? And prior to that, definitely nothing bad was happening in, say, the 1700s or the 1600s. Don't Google anything about King Philip's War. Don't do that. If you want to maintain the type of ideas Charlie Kirk is putting out there.
Everyone can acknowledge that. Right now, they're still in the United States of America. They have an entire part of the government dedicated to them, the Bureau of Indian Affairs.
Yeah, yes. In order to, like, provide funding and interface with the people who were pushed off of their ancestral
I was
land,
waiting for Charlie Kirk to say they're still here. They didn't
Want to see
leave.
the saddest,
Well, no shit. They didn't have anywhere to go, you asshole.
just dark places in America? Just go to a Native American reservation. It's not because of the people. There's some wonderful people there. I've been to Shiprock.
Why might it be then, Charlie? Why might those not be areas of large amounts of, like, economic prosperity, Charlie? I wonder, what might be the root cause of all of that, Charlie?
I've been to parts of Navajo Nation. I've been to the parts
Yes, it's all because they're dependent on the government. No other context. No other context necessary. It's just government bad.
So, you take a step back, and you have these land acknowledgments. So the DNC, the major political party in America, started their event, and the Minnesota DFL treasurer, Lindy Swamick, acknowledging the Dakota Party, saying the Dakota people are the original stewards of the lands and waters of Minneapolis.
And they are.
And we still live in a system built to suppress indigenous people's cultural and spiritual history.
And they do. You literally just talked about how that system oppresses those people, Charlie, which kind of also flies in the face of that thing you said earlier about how, like, 1900 came along and, like, the oppression and mistreatment of indigenous people ended somehow? Weird how just...
Hello, dear viewer. Riverboat Jack is the one we're listening to if you're curious. And the shitheel of the right, Charlie Kirk.
I don't understand what Kirk is getting at. Like, it says they were here first. It's like, yeah, they were, right? Exactly. But you have to understand that Charlie comes at this in order to try and, talk about how wokeness bad, and it's woke to call, Native Americans indigenous people, and it's woke to acknowledge that the land was conquered from them. It's woke to acknowledge the brutal history of, like, genocidal violence against indigenous people. And his goal here is to be like, look at all of these crazy woke liberals who are dedicated to destroying Western civilization. That's his goal. His goal here isn't to, like, be coherent, because fascism isn't coherent. It is not a coherent ideology. It's self-contradictory. And Charlie is a fascist. So it is not surprising that every other sentence
Eventually that's gonna kill me.
contradicts another sentence he is saying.
Really gotta put up safety
Does
rails.
anyone believe Charlie Kirk when he says that there are no starving kids in America? Yes. A lot of conservatives buy into this propaganda. Millions, actually, buy into this propaganda. And that is largely because they keep
Everything good?
to people who live inside of the conservative media bubble, and they just don't really learn what is actually happening, because
No, Charlie Kirk was literally like one sentence away from going, well, we all know the Native Americans had a hard time, or the indigenous people had a hard time in the 1800s, but they're still here. Where were they supposed to go, Charlie? This is their home, you stupid twat. Right-wingers are dumb. Right-wingers are dumb, and I'm tired of pretending like they're not. Also, apparently, all the pain on the Native American reservations, that's the Democrats' fault. Not at all to do with, everything having to do with the system being built specifically against them. No, it's the Democrats and their evil empathy. They're really trying the whole, don't believe your lying eyes, don't trust in your lying empathy shit. But outside of that, I'm about to sign off of here, grab some ramen, and probably finish out Star Trek before getting ready for bed. Was there anything that you needed that I could help with? Nah. Yeah. I want to fight this man. I want to fight this man. I think we should have that as a debate channel. Just, you debate until he says something so incredibly stupid, then you hold up your red flag and you put on your boxing gloves. That's the sign of, okay, that's too stupid for me to side with, let me fight him. Because I'm sorry, but that is so stupid. Well, maybe they're just lying. Okay, Charlie, but I'll take that same argument. Maybe your Jesus was also a lie. Maybe they were lying is going to be our new defense in history. Fuck artifacts, right? I hate the Republicans. Not all Republicans, dear viewer. Not all, but it's safe to say most. It's like trying to find the good moral cockroach in the Scully. It's... I don't know, y'all. Like, I'll always say, be nice and individual bases, but it's like... I don't know, y'all. I'm real tired of benefit of the doubting people that don't think we deserve a right to be alive. And I realize in some way it's, oh, well, you just gotta be nicer then. You gotta prove them wrong. Yeah, but we've been proving them wrong for 100+ years. At some point, we just need to admit that some racist white folks need to be put in line. Mostly because if they're not, they're going to try to put everyone else in line, and again, y'all, it's the tolerance of intolerance. You can't do it. And good news, hopefully, assuming I'm not a dumb dummy tomorrow, I should be able to get the non-mushmouth streams out again soon. Right now, if you've been noticing, wow, he sounds different, I wonder what's up. It's because I don't have any teeth right now, dear viewers. My teeth are in a cup. Unfortunately, I decided to bite my jaw the other week, my cheek meat, and I caused a scab on the inside of my mouth that I couldn't quite... Either way, I'll be able to wear my teeth again, hopefully starting tomorrow, unless I take another bite out my face. And that'll be good for me, because I like having the confidence of being able to speak my English correctly. That'll be good for y'all, because I won't have to flex my jaw as much when I talk, so longer streams, better work on the words, and... I mean, if I get angry or frustrated enough, y'all get to laugh as my teeth pop out. Either way. Just trying to keep it lighthearted and fun. We lost the viewer that was here. Bye, random viewer. I'm not that entertaining today, I get it. This is much more of a quantity rather than quality at the moment. But if you stick around, sometimes I say some cool shit. Also, there is always going to be fun architecture inside the bases, and typically I play games on the hardest setting. Being that it's the wind down, I'm trying to keep it, you know, sort of chill. But yeah, y'all. Just mostly it's a let's work together to make the world a better place thing. And if you got the choice to be funny or to be nice, choose to be nice. There's plenty of people trying to be funny. There's not nearly enough people making the active effort to try to be nice. And yeah, y'all, right now, especially in our current time, you want to rebel against the system, you want to be punk, be nice. That in and of itself is a very rebellious action right now. Like I said, y'all, eventually I'll get better at these streams. Just for now, it's easier to just yap about stuff. Okay, well, we've got enough. Actually, only racists usually believe that Native American people were super fucking peaceful and only peaceful. Aw, see, Charlie, you almost had a good point with the Battle of Starving Rock, but unfortunately, you didn't cite the historic source. So, buddy, that just doesn't count. Well, alrighty, y'all. We have survived another evening and made it back home. Oh. Alrighty, y'all. Bye for now, and we'll see you on the next one, y'all. Be good. Stay safe. If I don't see you in the wind-up tomorrow morning, we will do a gaming stream when I get home in the afternoon. Stand by for those shorts. Hopefully I'll be able to get more than one short video uploaded. And like I said, y'all, be good. If the sun rises early enough, we'll do a walk and talk. Otherwise, we'll do a walk and home and talk. Alright, y'all. Be good. Bye for now. Thanks for hanging out with us today.